Guys, welcome back to my channel and thank you so much for joining me today. I am here with you this afternoon shooting this video to talk about a recent color palette analysis that I did. I think it's a kind of a hot topic at the moment and I wanted to just share my experience and my thoughts on it. So if you are new to the channel and you just happen across this today and you enjoy content on luxury goods or experiences or designer items, please go ahead and subscribe. It really means a lot to me. For those of you who are subscribers and who are here returning, thank you so much for your support. As always, I really appreciate you. So jumping into my color analysis. So with all of the new trends on TikTok and Instagram and those color palettes, it really spurred up my interest in which colors really worked best for me. And I've always, for a long time, I want to say most of my life, I've gravitated towards a certain set of colors, and I would classify those as more autumn colors, muted, warm colors, which is quintessential autumn. And I kind of, I have light, medium toned skin. I tan really easily in the summer. I have hazel eyes with some brown in them. I have naturally dark hair. And I thought that, a spoiler alert, I thought I leaned warmer. And it turns out I do have a warmer overtone. My undertones are not warm though, they are cool. And when you're doing your color analysis, it's all about those undertones with the colors that really complement you and bring out your best features. And really, not only when I was doing this, one of the most surprising things to me with color is that when you would drape, because I went in person, no makeup on, and in natural light, in like an overcast, it was perfect for the analysis. She would drape the different colors over me to see what happened to my face. And I swear to you, it's not witchcraft that you see online or photoshopping or whatever. Some might be. I don't know what you're looking at, but there is a distinct change in the way that your face appears when you have different colors draped over you that flatter you or that work against you. Or as my color analysis said, not doing you any favor. So I love that. So anyways, I would have sworn to you, and I went in there swearing to her. I was like, I don't know if I should tell you this, but I'm going to anyways. I was like, I'm either dark autumn or dark winter, and I'm torn between the two, and I needed to kind of come in here and see which way I leaned. I was like, one of the ways they say to tell if you have warm or cool undertones is to look at the veins on your arms and to see whether they're blue or they're green. Well, I have blue and green veins. So, and I even, when I was working with someone at Sephora to get matched for a foundation, they said the same thing. They're like, yeah, you're very neutral because you have both green and blue veins. So I really just didn't know. I thought I sat on the fence and I didn't know which way I went. Turns out I have cool undertones and warm overtone. What that means is cool colors complement me better, but because I have a little bit of a warmer overtone, I could sometimes play around in those colors safely, which I'll tell you about in a minute here. So where I was swearing I would be a dark autumn or a dark winter, and tell me if you're shocked, you ready? The reveal. I am a dark summer. A summer. I was like, out of all of the seasons you could have told me I was today, that is probably the last one I was expecting. It makes sense now and I'll explain it. So when I say dark summer, if you start Googling, you'll probably see dark clothes for summer and stuff like that. Here's what I think. I do not know. If you have knowledge of this, please comment, as I would love to be better informed. But I went to an individual with House of Color. She was incredible. She spent hours with me and a girlfriend. And by the way, if you have the chance to do it with a girlfriend, do it, because it's just such a fun, girls experience, especially both of us are moms. Both of us just went on a Saturday morning, had a few hours to ourselves, and it was just a really fun like self-care type of morning, and also gave us some really good information and insight into how we should continue to build our wardrobes and our makeup and what we should be wearing and what flatters us the most. So I highly recommend it. I think it was worth every penny to go and to have that experience. And like I said, the woman that we went to was really just like masterful. She had a really great knowledge to be able to share with us, a lot of great tips, a lot of the things that she showed us. I really enjoyed every minute of our experience with her. So what they do is they kind of drape you in white, and then there's different paths that they could go down. Like, what I mean by that is there's different ways that they can start draping you. They go off of just your looks to understand better where to start. And for me, right off the bat, it was apparent that the cooler toned, like they have the white and the brown, and they have the warmer one, and then they have the cooler one. And it was very apparent that the cooler one was better suited for my complexion. What do I mean by that? Again, I would have sworn to you I was warmer. Like, I feel like and again, I have warm overtones, but when it drapes over you, you look at like how your jawline, and you look at, so I have some redness in my face, which I'm wearing makeup right now. You can't really see it. I get a little bit of redness. I don't really have like under eye circles, but I do have like fine lines. And it was just crazy how when you're draped in the right colors, your skin blends better. You see the whites of your eyes pop more. It actually looked like there were certain colors where, you know how some people underline their lower eyelid with like white eyeliner to give them that more like larger, brighter eyed look. There were just certain colors that naturally did that for my eyes, and then certain colors that didn't. There were certain colors that she would drape on me, and I would notice more of the fine lines and the redness start coming out, and just like not as much of a blend into my jaw as when I had colors on that flattered me more. So it was really like mind-blowing to sit there and to actually watch this. I think another reason it's great to have a friend with you is like you're all seeing the same thing. It's not just like you getting into it, and I don't want to call it a placebo effect, but like thinking like, oh, she's right. Yeah, this does look a lot better on me. But then going home and thinking like, oh, did that really look better? It was like having another set of eyes that really saw like the same things changing. Like, oh, when you drape that, a lot of the redness you had just came out of your face, or, oh, those fine lines just really smoothed out. So it was just really cool. And it definitely works. So the dark summer, and what I would love to get your guys' opinions about. Basically, I fall closest to autumn and darker color. So she said, I'm not surprised that you thought you were between a dark autumn and a dark winter, because you weren't sure if you were cool or warm. So you said you might be into the winter, but you leaned on the autumn because it was more muted. But with dark autumn and dark winter, they're just darker colors, which do flatter you most, as in your summer color season as well. So House of Color goes off of the 16 color seasons. A lot of what you Google and read about online, at least what I've come across, is more based on the 12 color seasons. So when you look at that, there isn't a dark summer. It's light summer, true summer, and soft summer. I'll be honest, I don't know if this is just me liking the colors more in this particular subseason, but I go off of soft summer with some darker colors. I could be making that up, but the way I see it is if you look at the color wheel, soft summer is the closest to autumn. It's what I read the darkest of the summer, so that kind of aligns with the dark summer. I think probably not the entire palette is like my best colors. Being a dark summer, it might be like some from one and some from another. Mind you, what she shared with me is you can wear colors throughout your season, and they will always be colors that highlight, your features rather than, take away from them. But at the same time, you have your best colors, and that's kind of what sets you apart into your subseason, or what are those core colors that are really just the best colors for you. So I lean on soft summer. To be quite honest, a lot of the colors just in the summer color palette are not colors that are anywhere in my wardrobe, because these are not colors that I gravitate towards at all. Some of the lighter and brighter blues and pinks and purples. I'm not a pastel person. My wardrobe, I have a lot of black and a lot of white and gray and muted tones. I mean, this is a sweatshirt. Luckily, this actually falls within my new color season. It was actually on one of my other videos that I did. I'm not too sure which one, but if you look back at some of my previous videos, so many of them are black. You will see so much like rich camel. I thought that color did wonders for me. It is apparently not doing anything for me. So I must have done my makeup really well for those guys. But when she actually draped it, you can see what she was talking about and how other colors are just working for you and enhancing your features a lot more. So I really love a neutral wardrobe. If you've seen any of my videos on my bags, I talk about how I chose a color or whatnot because of having a more neutral wardrobe. And I have to say that with the soft summer in particular, I feel more neutral than the other two subseasons, which is why it's easier for me to get inspiration online. Since dark summer is so hard for me to find, I just go to soft summer and I can get inspired a lot more with that one. The other thing I will say and add to that is when you get your color season analysis done, if you're anything like me and you thought you lived in a certain space, especially that dark autumn. I thought I was in autumn. I thought I was in autumn. And most of my wardrobe is warm based. And I came home and I was feeling very overwhelmed because a lot of my favorite color, like I love sunset oranges and like a lot of yellows and those orange red tones, like those are all like cinnamons and rich browns. Like I've always, for colors, aside from like black, actual colors, that's what I'm attracted to. And that's what a lot of my closet is. And that does not fall within my color season. By the way, does it mean that you can't wear these things? Absolutely not. It's just knowing that they're not the best colors for you and not doing for you what colors within your color season can do for you. So there's no hard and fast rules, obviously. It's not like the closet police come in and they're like, okay, get rid of all the autumn stuff. Like you are a summer, like you can't have this. But at the same time, it's something that if you slowly start shaping your wardrobe towards and your color palette around, one, you can live with a much more, and this is something I've wanted to do for years, live with a more kind of capsule wardrobe. And what I mean by that is more mix and match pieces that just go with everything. Like here, I just ordered a pair of like a blue-gray based pant where I'm like, this is perfect. This is within my color season. You look at muted purples, you look at muted blues, you look at muted light pinks, you look at soft whites, you compare all of those colors with those pants. And then as you start, like I start getting more muted, cooler tone blazers and maybe even like darker ones, like a nice like smoked grape. Like that's one of my better than black color, they call it for me, because black is not doing me any favors. You put on a smoked grape and it was like shocking, like how well the color worked with me. And I was like, yeah, I should be wearing more of this. I should have more of this in my wardrobe. So getting like blazers like that, and you start realizing how much more in your wardrobe works together, because before this, I wasn't, like my eye went towards certain things, but honestly, I'm influenced a lot. I'll see people wearing certain items and I'm like, oh, I love how that outfit looks together, or I love this, and I'll go out and buy similar pieces, and it doesn't really coordinate with other pieces of my wardrobe because it's like something different, even though I guess the style type is pretty similar. But I was getting to a point in my life too, and one of the reasons I did it, I was just feeling very like frustrated and overwhelmed with my closet because I feel like I buy, and I never have anything to wear, and my go-to pieces are like the same 5 things, and I'm like, why don't I just minimalize if this is the case? But then I try to do that and I'm like, I want more variety, and I like fashion, and I like style, and I like representing myself through what I'm wearing, so now I just feel limited. So I feel like this just gives me a very clear path moving forward onto how to have more items in my wardrobe, but how to keep the colors in the same family so that it just works with a lot more and I can get more use out of what I have and get more quality items. So I'm really excited. I highly recommend the process. I think it's so fun. The last thing I will leave you with on it is I left so overwhelmed. I'm like, oh my gosh, my entire closet doesn't work for me. I need to just do a complete overhaul. And when you start trying to do that, just don't do it. Just don't. I was starting to spiral a bit and starting to go into my old habits. So what I mean by that is I've tried so hard in the past like 6 months and moving forward, and it's just like a conscious 2023 resolution, let's call it. I want to buy quality pieces. I don't want to buy something because it looks cool and it's on sale and I feel like I'm getting it for a great price, because I was that person. I fundamentally am that person. Like it is so hard for me to see something that's fun and that I want on sale and to not make every reason to get it. And now I'm like, we're not doing that anymore. You will identify something that you need, you will find a good quality piece that fits right into that bucket, and then you will purchase that, and you will not purchase other things. So you will save money by not spending. You will invest in quality pieces, but then you will create a wardrobe that's really just something that you would admire someone else's wardrobe being. So I'm working towards it. It's a work in progress. I trip up there sometimes, in all honesty, but I've gotten a lot better, and I'm trying really hard to continue down that path. But I just feel like this is a great step in just going down, continuing to go down that path. So what I started doing was I was like, oh, all my sweaters are like cinnamon. I need to replace sweaters. No, false. And she told me this before I left too. When you're buying a couple of things for the new season, start buying in your color palette. But don't think you need to replace all your wardrobes at once. I mean, I'm in Texas, and the weather today, I think it was 77 in the car when we were in the car earlier, and it's the beginning of March. Like, I do not need to go replace sweaters right now. I have no need for sweaters at the moment. We're going into spring here. So, I purchased quite a few like basic tank tops, but instead of white, black, and gray, I got them in like the light pinks that fall within my color season. Like that smoked grape color, some lighter greens, some muted blues, some really really beautiful colored basic tanks that I could just throw on with denim. Another thing for summer she told me, which was my little excitement moment, I do great with all denim. So my girlfriend was a winter, and two big downfalls for her is that only certain denims are really recommended. Along with, she doesn't get any browns in her color season, which I was like, oh, then again, I do not get black. Apparently, that is just something that will never work for me. Can I wear it? Absolutely. But now it's like I visually see what she's talking about. It ages me. It does. On my friend, it does not age her. It ages me. So I'm like, ugh, I need to start down the path. But that was the recommended approach, and I would recommend it to anyone as well. Don't let it overwhelm you. Don't let go out and spend a fortune on things that just aren't going to make sense, because that's where I was. It was back to, oh, this is my color season and it's on sale, but do I actually like it? Like, is it a good piece that's gonna meant for me? So instead, I'm gonna just take it slow, buy a few pieces here and there that I think are just going to be more flattering for my color season, and then work on this over the next few years. Like, this isn't something that has to happen tomorrow, of course, and take some time to get used to too, when it's not the typical colors that you would gravitate towards. I'm a work in progress. I'll see how it goes. Would love to hear your experience with color analysis, what you think you are yourself, and then if you've ever done this like I have, if you've ever been mind blown with just learning that you're something completely different than you originally thought. So that's it for today. Any questions or comments, let me know down below. Other than that, talk to y'all soon.